Hello and welcome back. This is Sharon Traynor, and today I'm going to show you how to make two completely different styles of cards made with the same stamps and inks. One is a clean and simple design and the other is an inky shutter card. If you stay with me to the end of this video, I will give you all of the instructions for making the measurements, cuts and folds for the shutter card. Okay, starting with the shutter card then, I first make a blended background with dried marigold, worn lipstick and aged mahogany distress inks, making sure I protect my work from my fingerprints by using a spare piece of scrap paper. And I also go over adjoining colours to help with this smoothish blend. A quick dry with the heat tool before spritzing water on the card with a spritzer. I mop up the first spritz with a paper towel and then spritz again without mopping to get two different depths of water droplets. Using worn lipstick Distress Oxide, I stamp the group of butterflies. I think the collective noun is a kaleidoscope of butterflies, which is a fantastic description for them, isn't it? Anyway, I'm using the Live Life Now stamp set from Visible Image. I stamp more of the butterflies in aged mahogany and worn lipstick distress inks, making sure some of the stamping is off the page for a more natural look. Again, I'll dry with a heat gun, and you'll see here that some of the ink has seeped through to the back, so I'll show you one way to fix that in a minute. Now I start to make all the measurements for the cut and score lines for the shutter card, and as I mentioned before, all the detailed instructions for this are at the end of this video. You can always nip back here to watch this part again if you need to refresh your memory with the way I made these cuts and scores. It really is a simple process to make a shutter card, so don't be put off. There are just two cut lines and some scoring that need to be done. One tip for cutting a line into the middle of your card is to make a small cut right at the end before moving your blade to the start of the cut. As you are then cutting down the ruler, you will feel when your blade hits the first little cut you made, and it helps to stop you cutting too far. My instructions will show you how to fold these score lines into the appropriate mountain and valley folds. Okay, let's tackle the back of the card. Providing you have a decent weight of cardstock like a 300 GSM, you can completely ink the back as I have here. I used worn lipstick Distress Oxide. As some spots were still showing through, I inked up the kaleidoscope of butterflies again with aged mahogany distress ink and stamped over it. I tried worn lipstick too, but that disappeared into the background, so I used some picket fence to add more butterflies, making some light areas for you to write your greeting on. Next I took the fabulous Daughter definition stamp and heat embossed that with white embossing powder onto black cardstock. Then I trimmed the definition into each individual line and stuck those onto the card. The next thing was to take a small scrap of card and blend the three colours of distress ink onto it. I was going to use this to punch out some butterflies. You could also die cut butterflies if you wanted to. As you can see, I'm not being too careful about the blending on this one. To add some more interest to the butterflies, I used the splattery bits of the large butterfly stamp, which is also in the Live Life Now set. I used every ink for these splatters. Next, I protected each of the butterflies with some microglaze, which helps to prevent any of the distress inks moving again when you add something wet on top. I'm going to use some Rock Candy's Distress Stickles to give a subtle sugary shimmer to my butterflies, so I needed to protect them. Once the stickles had dried, I added 2 sizes of clear self-adhesive gems, large ones at the top of the wings and small ones at the bottom of the wings. I had some linen type material lying around, so I coloured some of it with dried marigold and aged mahogany distress ink and left some white. I cut them into small squares to place under each butterfly, securing each piece and the butterflies in place with a range of glossy accents. I find that glossy accents are one of the strongest things that you can use when you're adhering embellishments to your cards. To help stop my glossy accents getting gummed up between uses, I always tap the liquid back down into the bottle and squeeze any remaining liquid out of the spout, mopping that with a paper towel. And here's the finished shutter card. So as I had a spare butterfly left over, I decided to make another card with a clean and simple design. Here I'm just making a few very light pencil dots that I use to line up and add masking tape and scrap paper to mask off where I want to add my ink. I used the same combination of distress inks, although I didn't use the Distress Oxide on this little panel. And I'm just working each of the colours well into each other so that it really blends beautifully here. Once again, a spritz with water and mop up with a paper towel. This time I stamped the kaleidoscope of butterflies only twice in aged mahogany distress ink. The first line of the daughter definition is stuck over the inked panel, and then the whole panel is added to a card blank. And finally the butterfly is adhered with glossy accents. I stamped the whole of the daughter definition on the inside of the card using black Versamark ink. Right, here are the shutter card instructions. First, you need to take a piece of card that is 26 centimeters by 18 centimeters. Then, very lightly in pencil, mark out the following measurements, both along the top and the bottom of the card. You need to mark it 6.5 centimeters, 13 centimeters, and 19.5 centimetres. Place your ruler so that it touches both of the 6.5 centimetre marks. Then make another 2 marks, shown here with red X's. The first one at 6 centimetres in from the top, and the other at 6 centimetres up from the bottom. These will be the start of your 2 cut lines. Now do the same thing with the ruler, touching both of the 19.5 centimetre marks. Again, marking a point 6 centimetres in from the top and a point 6 centimetres in from the bottom. Again, I've marked them here with red X's. These will be the end of your cut points. Cut between the 2 points as shown by the blue line in this picture. Once your cuts are made, make your first score at the halfway point, that is, between the 2 13 centimetre marks. Now make 3 more scores as shown in this photograph. This picture shows which of the scores are mountain and which are valley folds. I will give you a link to a location for all of these pictures in the description below this video, so that you'll be able to get a clearer image. If you make a shutter card using these instructions and share it to social media, do tag me in so that I can come and see what you've made. All my social media links are in the description below this video. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope that you will like and subscribe to my channel. It would be lovely if you left me a comment too, as I love to read them. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.